Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Australian Hours member stream. We can only go an hour because I got to go to bed. Tired, but maybe in the future we could do longer ones because generally they go a couple hours. But I have to, and it's 10 o'clock my time right now, and got to keep it a little ASMR because Junior is asleep. He's got his school tomorrow. So let's see here. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Okay, so you can come on in. We can take five people at a time, and make sure you have your headphones on, no speakers, or we get nasty echoes. And come on in. Ask me anything if anybody wants to. Otherwise, I'll just talk. There is the link. Yeah. So getting ready for Friday Night Tights. I do not have a guest lined up yet. I tried to get a couple people new. I didn't get a response from one, and the other one said they're going to come on later. I'm not going to say who they are. What I'm probably going to end up doing is, reach out to somebody who's been on in the last few weeks to come on like the first couple of hours. And then I want to probably invite some up and coming YouTubers in the later hours, and they can help out with the Q&A. The super chats are going to be a mess. I'm never going to assume I get them, but if we get them, it's going to be a mess because I can't see them. But I'm hooking up to Streamlabs, so hopefully that will solve the problem. How's it going, Comic Aussie?
Hey, Mr. Gary, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Hey, I really appreciate you doing this. It's great because I think you got a few followers down here.
Yeah. No, you ask and you shall receive. It's my pleasure. I'm usually up this time, kind of winding down.
Hang on a second. I think I've got a feedback somewhere.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just trying to sort this out.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyway, let me try and figure out what the problem is.
No problem. I'll just talk. It's okay. Yeah. So Friday, I am preparing for Friday Night Tights. It used to be a show that I would prepare all of 5 minutes for before we started, and now it's days ahead. I have to do this, so it's great though. It's great. Who do we got here? We got Latino Slant, Eric K, Ginger Hosley, RR, Yodam Darkstar, Jeff Green. What up? And here, there you are. And awesome. Welcome, everybody.
Right. I figured it out.
Is that better?
That's much better.
Right. Nice. All right. Nice setup there. Nice mic.
You inspired me. Seriously, you inspired me. I was. I think I came on. I think I started subscribing to you when you were about 55,000 subs.
All right, that was a little over. Wow, that was late 2018 or 19. No, 18. God,
18. I think it was 18.
18.
I think it was before you were doing the your reviews on Discovery and Star Trek Discovery and a bit of Doctor Who, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when Doctor Who started kicking in. I remember when I hit 10,000, I thought that was like that. I had made it. I'm like, this is good. If I stay at 10,000, I'm happy, and then it went nuts.
No, absolutely. You've done outstanding. And I think, there's just so much crap on online, and but you keep it real, man. You keep it absolutely real. So do we have any other fellow Aussies down online here? That's the thing.
That's the thing. That's what I'm hoping for. Because once it was brought up, there was a bunch of people who were down for it. Now, I don't know if they remember my announcement and stuff. And if we keep this regular, I think more people will show up. It's usually sparse in the beginning, but that's fine. What time is it over there?
It's just gone 1:05 in the afternoon Friday.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Actually, I'm actually held hostage here in my state. Our borders are completely shut down. Like we have zero community transmissions. We have, I think we had probably one. Actually, I don't even think we have any more cases of the stupid coronavirus at all in any of our hospitals here. And I don't know if you've seen a map of Australia, but our state is like, it's like bigger than Texas.
Yeah.
It's like we take up about a third of the country. And our borders are completely shut. We can't fly. We can't travel. We even have intra-regional borders that we can't, like, families can't even go and visit people down up north. The tourism industry is being, because they're coming into their biggest season, like with the whale shark and Ningaloo Reef, which is absolutely beautiful up there. I have a travel business. I do lots of sports travel. I've been in travel for 20 years. So I deal with a lot of groups and, helping sports teams go over and compete in tournaments. I do quite a bit of leisure travel as well, but so it's quite a sensitive, topic for me personally, being in that industry. Pretty much like you with the comic book store and, just the absolute mess that's become. Same sort of thing. But
my God.
We're completely locked down. And it's getting to a point where they're actually questioning the constitutional legalities as a federation, because we're, like the United States, we're a federation of Commonwealth states. So there's some people are starting to question the legalities, because our premier, which is like your governor, has basically said, oh, well, we're going to keep our borders shut until we feel like it. So until no light at the end of the tunnel, no date or anything. So it's very, very frustrating from a business point of view, because you just can't plan. You can't do any marketing, because you just don't know what it's looking like on the other side of when the country's going to open up. So we can't trade. I can't trade as a business with other states. So it's like, pretty much being held hostage.
That's ridiculous. Oh my God. I would go nuts after that. I don't know. I have been confined for long periods of time in my life, and I swore I'd never go back to that. So I'm a good citizen now. And to go through this and watching my wife go through it with her business.
Yeah.
I feel for you guys. And at least we can, I could leave California if I want to. I can get out of here and go to a state that's open or something like that. But this is the scary part. This is the part where it's however you feel about the virus. Now we got to start asking, our civil rights are way more important. They're in danger right now.
Absolutely.
They're in absolute danger right now. And, it's good to hear people just like starting to question it. We need that. Because I think a lot of us have been, a lot of people have been trying to shame us into questioning it. And that's not good.
Well, I'm one of the things that I'm doing is anything that is a product of China, I go, nope, next. So if there's some way that I can make them pay for what they've done to our economy, to yours economy. So every time I go to the hardware store, I'm looking at where it's made from. So if it's made in, I'll do Australia first. I'll do USA, our economic trading partners, and our allies, and anyone but I'll put China last. So I think that's the least I can do.
Yep. Yeah, that's all you can right now. That's all you can do. I was thinking about it today. It's like, how long am I personally going to put up with it? And because I told my wife, I'm like, there's a day you're just going to have to open. Because here in California, we're going to be months. It's going to be a long wait, and at least another month. I think at least another month, and it's beyond ridiculous right now here in San Francisco. I think regionally, of course, you need to be like in New York is. I don't understand what's going on in New York, but here in San Francisco, like it's like our cases are kind of flatlining. We haven't had very many deaths. I mean, it sucks that we have any, but I think it's like 30 something. And we don't know if that's all Corona or not. So,
that's interesting. I mean, look, there's a. It doesn't matter what it is. There's an associated risk with everything. You step out of your house, get in your car, go for a drive. We could eradicate road fatalities if we tell everyone to not get in a car anymore. But that's not realistic. So there's a point where, and I know a lot of your states are doing it, and some of our states like New South Wales in the east, wanting to open up, and get the economy going again. But there's a it's like a moral civil war. You've got the lockdowners versus all those who want to open up, and the majority of those lockdowners are people who they've got they've still got their salary, they're kicking back at home, watching Netflix, working a couple of hours, but they're still getting their pay packets every week like clockwork. They're not feeling the pain. So our government slogan is during this crisis is we're all in this together. We ain't all in this together, because there are businesses that are, going down the gurgler, going to the wall every day. Family businesses, that sweat and tears, and you know what it's like setting up a business and how much personal investment you put into those things. But we're trying to put pressure on our leaders to come to the party, have a reality check of what's really going on.
Come to their senses. I mean, this is the saddest thing about this is it got politicized, and we're business owners are caught in the middle. Everybody's caught in the middle, and there's going to be a point where what I think might happen, I think it's already happening, is people are just going to work and they're going out. Like today was crowded in the city. It was out, I took my walk and it was nuts. So that's the most crowded I've seen it since the 16th. So it looks like people are just kind of doing it. Yeah. And it was a beautiful day here. God, it's rare. I can
imagine, because I've been to California. I've been to your city. I've been to about 39 states of the US.
Nice.
And
it's about how many I've been to.
So you have. Well, it's California. Your state is actually very, very similar to Western Australia. We have very, very similar climate. Apart from the earthquakes in the Sierra Nevadas, because we're a bit more flat. But in terms of the weather, it's absolutely beautiful. The sunlight, the weather, the warm weather, the Mediterranean weather, and you've got a lot of our eucalypts and a lot of our trees that flourish through all California. Yeah, something I noticed when I was on a hop on hop off bus doing the tour around San Francisco. I was like, what's that smell? It's eucalypts.
Yeah,
eucalyptus trees.
Somebody, Eric K probably knows. Somebody brought them over here. I forgot who and why.
Yeah, it's a while ago. It's like at the beginning of the 19th century or something, or 20th century.
Yep, down in San Diego where I grew up, they're all over the place. They grow great down there. So, and the smell is just, it reminds me of home too. So, if anybody wants to jump in, I'm here till 11. Otherwise, we'll just chat. I'm okay with that. I have been staying away from the news. I go to my guys, which might not be they're not the most unbiased sources. Okay. Who I go to, let's be real, but, they're entertaining. So I'm
you're talking about Doomcock, Jeremy.
Yes. Yeah. My boys.
Your boys.
We had a good exozone today. I've been reading up on this. NASA discovered a parallel universe where time runs backwards. I don't know how they discovered this when they can't like get to the moon, but they did, and it's bizarre. It's weird.
So what they've actually is it you're talking about a theory that they formulated?
Yeah. It's some theory that it's a parallel universe. It might be a reflection of ours where time flows backwards. Can't get my head around that actually, but
okay.
Yeah. So they brought
mirror, sort of like almost like a mirror universe.
A mirror universe.
Yeah.
So they brought them. Yeah, I thought it was Eric K. I heard they brought him over for railroad ties, but maybe it was just lumber. And yeah, it's like that doesn't really work very well.
Yeah.
But, and it took us a long time to figure out. It wasn't until the 80s we figured out that you had, and I'm not kidding about this, you have to cut the tops of those things off or they will break off. And so they every year or every few years they go through San Diego and they just chop the tops of these. We call them eucalyptus. Yeah. And otherwise they're widow makers, man. They took out a couple of people.
Yeah. I've got one right out the front of my house over my driveway. This thing, I've got a big one. It's been growing for years. And we've got a bit of an extended summer here. I mean, so it's a beautiful day, but we've actually got a really big. What I'm worried about is this weekend we've got a massive weather event coming in, which is we get a lot of the cold fronts, but they're called winter squalls. So they're sort of like a winter hurricane, as you would call them. They call them cyclones. Yeah. So they spin off the south of the Antarctica and they come right up, and it's like a windscreen wiper, just wipes straight across. And at the same time, there is a tropical cyclone hurricane that's coming over Christmas Island right off our northwest, and they're coming down and merging together. So
that's going to be like the perfect storm.
Yeah. So I'm a bit worried about my trees out the front, but do
you guys get tornadoes down there?
Not as much as you guys. We get there is a sort of what we call a tornado alley on the south side of my city, Perth, which is, but they're like a category, whatever we call an F, like a less than an F1, might be like a F.5.
Like a dust devil. Yeah. Well, that's what makes them. If a cold front.
They still do a bit of damage though, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this mirror universe, that's interesting. Obviously it's obviously a point of topic, a theme, and a few of obviously with Discovery. We got the Flash has been that's been their storyline, the mirror universe this season. But I'd have to look into that. I'd definitely.
It's NASA may have uncovered evidence. Yeah, I don't know how. It's through particles. That's right. So there's these cosmic rays. Of course, cosmic rays come from space, and they had found down by Antarctica that cosmic rays were emitting from the Earth, and they had no origin. And they were perplexed by this because that's impossible. So that's their theory. And Three Streams says it's more of a fan fiction hypothesis. Hey, Three Streams, you said it's 9 a.m. in Dubai. Are you in Dubai?
Dubai.
Are you really in Dubai?
Hell, Dubai.
Wow. That's crazy if you are. Mrs. Nerdrotic almost worked over there. They wanted her to come out for 6 months to do hair, and they offered her ridiculous money. We almost took it, but she couldn't leave the salon that long. So
all right,
6 months. I could, I'd be without my wife for 6 months. I couldn't go with her. So
yeah, that would be tough. Yeah. I last time I left my wife to go on a trip, I think I was almost in the doghouse for a while. I scored a trip to a Club Med ski trip in France for 2 weeks.
Can't say no to that.
my wife was like 8 months pregnant at the time.
Oh, then you can say no to that, kamikaze. Hey, dude, I got in so much trouble. Okay, with my first wife, I went to a Comic-Con, and it was supposed to be in some convention center in Las Vegas. They had to move it last minute, and it ended up being in the same building with the porno convention. So they just put a black curtain in between it, and all the kids were wandering into the porno. It was just a disaster. And my first
what's
wife,
that noise? What's that noise? There's lots of oohs and ahs.
Right. So, so we were there, and I was, at my booth, and this is when I had my comic book, and I took some pictures, and with some actresses, and my wife saw them. Right, my first wife saw them, and I forgot.
Oh, crap.
And I came home from work one day, and my shit was packed on the front porch. I was like, "Hey, wait a minute! I should have left then." But it would have saved me a lot of money. What's up, Eric? How's it going?
Good evening, Gary. Good evening, all. How's everybody doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, eucalyptus were brought over to California in the 1850s, and they brought them over originally for lumber for houses and things like that. They brought the wrong ones, and then they figured out they were good for like windbreaks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because they're very fast growing. They stay straight when they're young, but then they get all twisted and gnarled. So,
absolutely, yeah.
I got a whole side of a mountain full of them. So,
and where are you based, Eric?
I'm on the coast of California, south of Gary.
Okay.
Yeah. How many miles? Like 50 miles? 50 miles?
Oh,
60?
it's not even
40?
that. Probably about 40.
Yeah.
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 Well, my son's in the US at the moment. He's on scholarship at college in Illinois, but he's obviously they closed down there in Illinois. He's down in Florida.
Oh.
Just
living it up in Florida now. Huh?
Living out with his girlfriend in Florida, going out on a boat, going fishing.
Oh.
Sometimes life's really rough.
And not fair. How old is he?
He's 21.
Oh, all right. Good for him.
Yeah. He's actually he's on a football scholarship. So, and I'm talking American football here. He's the first Australian quarterback to actually get a full year athletic scholarship to a US college.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you guys play it down there?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
It's obviously we call it gridiron. And so we have it's actually growing pretty quickly. It's actually quite but it's not professionally organized, so it's still run by a lot of amateurs and volunteers, so it probably would be similar to like how like your minor sports are in the US, like rugby, and maybe cricket, things like that, where you've got a lot of expats that who might be over there who play those smaller sports. But it's actually growing really big. So we get a lot of our rugby players who've come off the rugby season and then go straight into American football. So we run it from October to February. So we actually play it in the summer. So like you guys play in the fall, but it's like, so you can get up to like 40 degrees, let's say like 109 Fahrenheit or something. In all the gear. But yeah, we got I think we got about 7 or 8 teams in our city, but it's played all over the country. Yeah.
Hey,
wow, a lot more.
One of my favorite all-time Chargers is Darren Bennett, and he used to be an Aussie, I guess rugby player, right? Or football, Australian rules football, I think, and he became a punter for the Chargers, and we loved him. The guy was awesome.
Oh, he could boom it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, because that's like we have it's like with baseball, with American kids in baseball. They pick up the ball, they're throwing the ball. With Aussie rules football is we're very multi-sport orientated, and so we pick up football from when you're like 2 years old, kicking the ball. So it's I don't know if you ever watched. Have you ever watched an Aussie Rules football game?
I have.
Yeah.
In a pub in London,
Okay.
as a matter of fact. So, yeah, it's hardcore. Those guys are hardcore. I don't know how they're not like walking home with concussions, and
it's crazy because they're coming from all directions. So it's I don't follow it. So I'm one of these rare Australians that doesn't follow the game.
I've actually played it a few times. I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but when I lived overseas, I played.
Yeah,
right.
I think I'm trying to remember how it started, but I think it was very similar to how basketball started. How it was. I think it was created as an off season to keep players fit. I think was there something like that from? I think it was like American football players. I think it was American football. For some colleges to keep their athletes fit in the off season. So that's something how basketball started. But so same sort of thing. I think it was just something that it's like a mixed match of rugby and Gaelic football and soccer. Yeah. So it's the only sport that where you actually get a point for trying to get it in to try and get a goal.
Oh, you get points for trying. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So you got the two big poles in the middle. So you get 6 points in the middle, but if you miss, you get 1 point.
Oh, well, damn.
So it's like, it's a ribbon for everybody.
Participation trophy. That's
Exactly.
that's so nice of you.
You get a gold star.
Yeah.
Gold star.
Almost made it. Well,
Draco, how you doing, man?
I'm excellent. How are you doing, Gary?
I'm doing good. I'm actually I'm getting a new microphone, guys. I'm getting some equipment, some sound equipment, so I could sound somewhat professional because I'm going to be focusing more on live streaming, and getting more timely. Having live streams at the same time on the same days. I got to coordinate with Az because we're going to do a live stream every other week, and then Jeremy and I are going to do something like probably once a month, and of course Friday Night Tights. So it's YouTube is being so weird right now. I'm getting a little worried. I
breaking.
Yeah, I usually don't get discouraged with YouTube. Like if a video doesn't do well, it was me. It's not YouTube. People use the algorithm excuse a little bit too much, I think. Generally it's the algorithm until you come out with a good video, and then so it's just the algorithm every time. And some people like your videos and some people don't. That's just life. But it's it blanked out on Friday. It's giving us bad information now. All my financials are gone off the site, although there's a different site that you can go to and look at them, which is fine. But I spent 2 hours today talking to somebody at YouTube, and when I was done, I talked to Mrs. Nerdrotic a little bit, and I'm like, God, I was like, I was on the chat and I was asking them questions, and they were asking, they were like, what's your problem? I told them what my problem is. They're all, okay, is it in the studio? Yes, blah, blah, blah. But I kept on asking the person, can I send you a screenshot? And they wouldn't answer the question, like just flat out ignored it, like it wasn't there. And
I heard about this in the Exozone. You do realize that you're talking to customer service, so you're talking to a notebook.
I am talking to a bot. I was talking to a fucking bot.
They're programmed answers. If that was actually a human being, they will not go outside the notebook. They will not help you. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be surprised if Google's got bots for your service.
Yeah,
it's Google after all.
But so this was an online. This was a chat communication, not a.
Yeah, this was a chat communication for 2 hours today, this morning.
2 hours with a bot. Wow.
With a fracking bot. And I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, that H3 Keemstar stuff is lame. It is causing real problems.
Sure, you're getting a new mic. Next thing you know, you're going to get a soundboard. You're going to be playing yakety sack and who knows what.
Yeah, I got the soundboards coming. Oh yeah.
Oh.
I've got little animations I'm going to start putting in. But so the announcement is that we're going to move towards scheduled, and we're bringing somebody in to help. And I think I've got all the problems kind of worked out. So that's always good. But
excellent.
Yeah.
So, hey, Draco, whereabouts are you, buddy?
I am Midwestern United States.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I can get more specific than that without doxing myself severely. I am in Flint, Michigan, with the most famous water problems in the world, or at least it's very famous, and I know Europe knows about it. I don't know if Australia knows about it, but
did you get one of those Elon Musk water filtration systems?
Not from Elon Musk. My water filtration system is just a plain old GEPOS.
I know he donated like, I don't know how many, but I know he donated millions of dollars worth of filtration systems over there.
There are tens of thousands of households who were worse than I was during that particular thing, but I didn't deal with it that much myself, and I purchased my own water. I actually had a real job and didn't have to worry about issues on welfare or with supporting too many kids or a whole family working, which is very common, of course. Yeah. But yeah, I'm up here. I live in the mitt. That's another Michigan term.
In the mitt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like a mitt when you look on a map. Right?
Oh.
Yep. Essentially, you take a look at Michigan, and it looks like you're seeing the palm of someone's right hand, kind of. Hi there. And I can show people where I live if I don't feel like I'm going to dox myself by pointing at my right hand.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just bringing it up on my. Okay, yeah, I can see where you are. Just up from Detroit. Yeah.
Yep. We're little Detroit, except we had a bigger. We were leading the country in murder per capita for over 10 years. I don't even remember what the statistics are now. So eat that, Detroit.
Take that.
Yeah.
I mean, worse than Oakland?
Yeah, per capita specifically. And I don't know if that even matters now. For a while, it was taken by somewhere in Kansas or Missouri. But I mean, just think Detroit is like this wide city, got lots of land area, and it's one of the most populous cities in the United States. But after being known for Motown and things like that, they certainly got to be known later as not particularly the nicest place to live, and that's why OCP in the RoboCop movies was placed as an idea to, we're going to renovate Detroit. And that was this was like a selling feature. They were going to come in and clean up the town. I always thought of that as funny.
Is that because of the movie?
I don't know much more behind it, but the movies, the setting for the movies was always Detroit.
Okay.
And Detroit's got a lot of rundown areas. It lost a lot. There's always a lot about, even my little town has been known like Buick City, but they used to refer to Detroit as Auto City and things like that. There's plenty of things that went down. Big business. But a lot of that went away and it spread out. Now it's in a lot of the surrounding counties in our state. So in all of that, the businesses left behind a lot of buildings, and a lot of people who live close to work don't live close to a place where they work anymore. They got to commute. So a lot of things degenerated, and you get that sort of sense of things breaking down. They even have a film commission there for doing the sort of rundown building work. Geez, I can't even. I couldn't even tell you much about what goes on as far as that. But Detroit did play as a setting for one episode of a third season of Enterprise.
Okay.
It did?
Yes, it did. This one was the one where the reptilians came. Somehow they used some kind of temporal thing to come back. They convinced a guy to capture people for them so that they could get samples of human life forms to use to tune their weapon. And I can't even remember the name of that episode now. I am gone far from my ability. Too much.
I got it for
Next
you.
Generation and things.
I got it for you. It's season 3, episode 11, Carpenter Street.
That's it. That was set in Detroit, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Dubious
There you
honor.
go.
Fantastic. Well, written by Rick Berman. Geez, I wish he was back. Seriously.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
You are in good company.
Oh,
dude. Did you guys watch Doomcock's last video on Star Trek?
Yes.
I highly recommend it. Some of his best work.
I haven't seen it. Is that about the announcement of the new show, Strange New Worlds?
Yeah, it's that, and they came out with an article on Star. I'm actually including it in. I was doing a video on the Strange New Worlds, and I'm going to pop that article in. And they basically admitted. I mean, they admitted all this stuff. If you guys watched Picard at all, they did these little post show like they did with Game of Thrones and stuff. These are the worst idea of all time, especially with a bad show, because they give you the reasons why they made their very bad decisions, and they culminated in an article where they made Picard to shame him. That's exactly why they. So when I said, and when a lot of us said that they're making the show to deconstruct Picard, and it's Patrick Stewart's idea. It was his idea to destroy his character.
Why would you even do that? I mean,
well, they're not only destroying Picard, they're destroying the rest of Star Trek that was left.
I mean, can you imagine if they did that to William Shatner?
Yeah.
Well, Shatner wouldn't have stood for it at all.
Exactly. So it goes to obviously, Sir Patrick Stewart's.
I think it's safe to say that. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying obviously it's if Patrick Stewart's he had a lot more influence and direction he's a producer of the show, right? He's one of the he's actually on the production team. Yeah. So,
but he also seems to be if you read between the lines and you know that much about Sir Patrick Stewart, he never placed that much. What would be a good word? Essentially, he didn't have a lot of interest in his character. It was purely a job for him. It was something that he was doing. I mean, he played this role to the hilt with excellent writing in many cases. But the thing was, he never really He never had investment in it personally. Whereas I think I could certainly say, I know I've seen stuff with Aubrey Brooks from Deep Space Nine. He placed a fair amount of investment in his character. Matter of fact, it was important to him to he really felt that some of those episodes, maybe not a lot of people liked them, but where he connected with a certain amount of PC culture going there, 90s PC culture, where he connected with people from our era and people who were Black living at the time. But he was invested in it. And so was William Shatner. William Shatner was invested in his character, so much so that it's that particular Shatner behavior with the character. He had to. He believed it was part of his image.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't think you get that from Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
He's divorced himself And he is truly divorcing himself from that character.
And if you listen to the interviews and you watch the body language with him too, I mean, he's a complete elite. I mean, I don't know how better to describe him. It was such a disappointment.
I've never anyone, unfortunately.
Okay, well, we'll mute you, buddy. Come back in.
We hear you though. As soon as you figure it out.
Yeah, we can hear you. So yeah, it was a major disappointment. The one thing, Shatner, for all the crap we hear about that guy, he's cool as hell. I mean, you know, I hated being herded to go meet him. I'll never go through that experience again. And I wouldn't recommend it. I paid a stupid amount of money because Mrs. Nerdrotic really loves him and she wanted to get a picture with him on the bridge, and we did. That cost $500.
Awesome.
$500. The bridge was awesome though. Just to be on the bridge. I mean, I got all giddy when I was there. I didn't think I would get that excited, but I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Where was that set?
Harry, you're a true Trekker.
Oh, God.
You got excited to be on the bridge of the Enterprise.
I want a house with that in it, like a smaller version, but I want that. I want that to be my living room. Is so cool. Either that or the inside of a medieval castle. I'm undecided, but nothing that'll ever happen, believe me. That was cool. It was cool,
where was that?
At Star Trek Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, and oh, I can't wait to go to Las Vegas. I can't wait to get out. I got all excited when I saw that Tenet trailer. I don't know if you guys saw it, the one that came out today. That movie looks great. The Nolan movie.
First one, didn't see this trailer, but the first one had me interested.
Yeah, they dropped another one today. So it's on the Warner Brothers site. Gotta go check it out later. It's definitely very cool looking movie.
As soon as I can, I'm going to Vegas and I'm going to Arizona for sure. Probably La Jolla also. Go get myself a nice burrito that you didn't bring back for me.
No. Oh my God, I can't wait to have a carne asada burrito.
Yep.
That's gonna be hard to leave.
Burritos.
Oh, the Mexican food here is the best. It's the best.
Almost Mexico. That's almost Mexico. Come on, man.
But it is
Midwest.
San Diego.
We have
Mexico.
nothing.
You can see Mexico from most of San Diego. Well, from when you're in La Jolla, you can see it. You can see Mexico from La Jolla.
What's strange is in Northern California, you cannot get really good Mexican food.
Nope.
But anywhere south of Orange County, you can get it.
Yeah. No,
you cannot go far.
Oh, the weirdest thing
isn't like it
is if you're ever flying into San Diego when you approach, right? Because you approach from the east, and Lindbergh is the craziest airport to fly into because right before you hit the runway, man, the plane drops because there's a parking garage and it's the way it's set up. It just goes straight down. But if you look to the left, you can see Mexico, and you look to the right and you can see America, and it's so weird. At night, you can see the difference in the lights. Like all the Mexican lights look all dim, and like America's like bright and shiny, and it's bizarre. And you can see the line, the border line. It's a very weird experience.
Yeah, that parking garage is right over where Jeremy was hanging out when you guys went down there. He went.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
There's a strip joint right next to that parking garage. I used to live right up the street from it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
I used to date all the dance there, so.
We got waiters in the backstage. Just to bring it up, Baptist is back again, and Paulie.
Oh, what's up, Paulie? There you go. So here's a weird story. When I was living on Laurel Street in San Diego,
what's up?
The planes were flying over all the time.
Talking about burritos without me.
Yeah, we are. And I was watering my little lawn because I had an apartment that was, oh my God, it was 500 square feet. It cost $500 a month. So I'm watering my little patch of lawn. and I had long freaking, I mean, this is the 90s, right? So I look like, I've got my Danzig shirt on, I've got my long hair, my shorts, I'm smoking a cigarette, and all of a sudden all these cops start coming up the road. And then this car freaking stops, and Bob freaking Dole walks out, shakes my hand.
Bob Dole.
What?
Bob Dole. No, I swear to God, this happened. So,
Wow.
Bob Dole. I'm Bob Dole.
Bob
So
Dole.
Bob
they-
Dole.
they had this
You know what
little-
Bob Dole does?
Bob
Bob
Dole.
Dole comes out and shake your hand.
I'm
Bob
Bob
Dole.
Dole.
So yeah,
Bob
they
Dole
had
gonna
Bob
come up
Dole.
and shake your hand.
they had the
his
Republican
thing?
convention.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
They had the Republican
get
convention in
that
'96.
injury?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, that
Can you guys hear me?
that flat.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We hear you.
Can you hear us?
What
I'm
is
trying
that?
to be heard.
Is that like a tub of ice cream or something, or what?
Baptist, what are you eating?
Baptist, we can hear you stirring.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself for a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, that
I don't think you have the cup close enough to the
So-
microphone.
Was,
What was that?
That
I was
Bob
going
Dole
to say
injury?
you're
That
you're
Bob Dole injury.
Oh, hang on.
Go on, Paulie.
Regarding Bob Dole's injury, was that from World War II?
Yes.
I believe so.
Right, because his arm
Yes, it is.
doesn't work, right?
No, it does not.
Right.
He had a pin in his hand at the time. They were having the Republican National Convention, and he had just landed.
Uh-huh.
And I live above the airport, and he was just stopping his car and shaking people's hands. I wasn't the only one. I mean, he just stopped his car, and I'm like looking around me, and Secret Service agents is coming. He's coming at me. He's all, "How you doing?" And I'm like, I wonder what he like. I want to go shake the hand of some burnout who with long hair with a Danzig shirt on, because that looks like that's the kind of guy who's going to vote for me.
Yeah,
And-
exactly. I was going to say that.
With the Danzig shirt. That's classic.
Yeah. And I ran in to tell my wife, I'm like, "You're not going to believe this. I just shook Bob Dole's hand." She's like, "Shut up." I'm no, I'm serious. I just shook Bob Dole's hand. I don't think I washed my hands either.
You know,
Well,
what
for
would
a
be
while there,
cool
I
is
lived,
that if he had done that thing. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm new to this.
Go finish up. Go ahead.
If Bob Dole had gotten one of those fake hands, like what was that? Carl Weathers, where he was in that
Oh, yeah.
Adam
And
Sandler movie.
Happy
Happy
Gilmore.
Gilmore.
Yeah, the fake hand. Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
Chuck.
fake-
could have had Happy Gilmore.
It was Chuck.
Jamie Lannister hand. Yeah. Something
Is
like
it
that.
because you were a black man? No, it's because of this hand.
Then he ended up
Oh,
killing him
man.
with the alligator head.
Yep.
Hey, Gary,
Dude.
that fly into San Diego you were talking about reminds me of actually flying into the old Hong Kong Kai Tak airport before they moved out into Lanto Island. The airport was a runway over the harbour, and it literally flew meters above the top of apartments. You could see you could literally, if you could stick your hand out the window, you could like grab somebody's pair of underwear as you as it was coming in. That's how close these guys were actually flying in these 747s.
Oh, that would give me a heart attack. I hate flying, so that would be terrible.
Are you going to drive throughout the Southwest when you are able to, or are you going to fly?
Oh, drive. I drive everywhere. It drives my nuts, my wife nuts. But yeah, I'll drive to Florida. I won't get into a plane unless I like absolutely have to.
I thought your wife drove your
that's
nuts.
how you
I don't
really
pump.
get to see,
Ba-da-bum.
like, I mean, with America, that's how you really get to meet just different people, man. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like, I love driving cross country. I love
Absolutely. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's made for driving.
Oh.
I took my family in a we did a road trip. We did about a 9.5 week road trip, and in a massive. It was like I think it must have been like a Ford Expedition. like an Eddie Bauer edition. There's like had all the bells and whistles.
Nice.
These things are crazy, man. It's like bucket leather seats, secret compartments. Man, that was good. That was a great way to drive. But over here in Western Australia, it literally take you 2.5 days just to drive to our state border.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
That's massive.
State, man.
Wow.
When I was a kid, my parents
Freaking
took us from
territories.
California all the way up to Alcan to Alaska. So that was quite a trip to go visit
That
my
is a
grandparents
trip.
up there. Yep. When when I was born, my grandparents moved up to the middle of Alaska, and my parents used to always say they knew what was coming, so they left.
Yeah. When I got my FJ Cruiser, it was like the first week we got it. I went on a road trip and I got to drive through my very first sandstorm. I'd never done that before. I was in the Mojave. We saw it coming. I'm like, how bad could it be? We could just drive through that in like an hour, right? No, it went all night and we couldn't see anything. It was nuts. And I was like, my car is screwed. I just bought this car and it was fine, but damn, that was terrible.
In Saudi Arabia, we'd get sandstorms so bad it would strip the paint off of vehicles.
No shit, really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
you know how you see what is that movie? The one with
Mummy?
Jake Gyllenhaal, and he
No.
has the little the sword or the little dagger. Oh God, what is it?
It's
A
like
video game movie?
Persian.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
Persian. Yeah.
Yeah,
Prince of Persia?
Prince of Persia,
Prince.
yeah.
Prince of Persia. You remember
Prince
the
of
big
Persia.
sandstorm that came over?
Yep.
Those actually happen over there. That's like a real thing.
Dang. I must have been in a tame one. I still had paint.
Yeah,
It's still on my car.
the ones over there, you'll have sand piled up in front of your house all the way around, and it's absolutely incredible because you literally cannot see like a couple feet away. It's
Wow.
incredible. Three String probably knows. He's from Dubai, so
The Prince of Persia. That was a terrible movie. That was a god awful
That was
movie.
so
Yeah, you
bad.
started talking about sandstorms. I immediately went to the Mummy.
But
Brendan
The Mummy's-
Fraser.
I like the Mummy.
however, I like the female lead in Prince of Persia. She was pretty cute.
Yeah, you're right.
I can't
Not
remember.
gonna argue with you there.
She was
Well.
pretty hot. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Like Deja Thoris and John Carter. They did a good job with Deja Thoris, in my opinion. So
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? That's an underrated film, man. That's an underrated film. I think it's actually gotten better over the years. Just
you're
saying.
damn
Yeah.
right.
There are a number of films
Is
that
it
actually
actually-
are underrated, and one of them, my honest opinion, would have to be Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. That movie is truly
Which one?
underrated, and I think ahead of its time in a lot of not just I think in the graphics, well, what's it called, the CGI, the way they do it to where it doesn't look digital, but it looks really natural, and also the plot. I absolutely love the plot because it set up a real traditional idea of good versus evil, and I just like the way they did it in that movie.
It's so isn't it quaint to want a good versus evil movie now? It's did you guys ever see
That's unheard of.
Solomon Kane?
No, I don't
Solomon
think I've ever
Kane?
heard of that movie.
Oh,
Actually, no.
isn't that on Netflix still?
I believe it is. If you have a chance to see it, absolutely see it.
With James
Yes.
Porfoy.
Yes. It's
Man,
really good.
He's a good little actor, man.
Yeah. It's a good
He's
movie.
always kind of playing a good actor. Okay. Oh, that's on my list. Thank
Solomon
you,
Kane
sir.
on the watch list.
Sir,
Yep.
Sir
Yeah,
Gary.
I'll add that in.
I saw a really low budget film yesterday. I recommend. It's called True Fiction. And it is it's like a modern like Misery, where this writer hires this assistant, and he's a horror writer, and they're in a cabin, and he basically tortures her for 2 hours.
Oh my
But
God.
no, yeah, it's not gory. It's disturbing, but it's done well. Like there's suspense. It's made for peanuts, but It just came out. It just came out like maybe last year, and we were looking for something to watch, and you know, it totally passed our. You know, we watched the whole thing because usually we'll give an independent film like 10 minutes, and if it sucks, we'll turn it off. But I
No.
recommend it. It's a lot.
Cool. No, it's
Wasn't
I
bad.
love,
Wasn't bad.
we need more independent film, and
Yes.
God, we
Yeah.
need it so much.
Mhm. And also, speaking of good entertainment, Uncle Gary, have you seen the TV show Into the Badlands? Have you been watching it?
I have not. I tried to watch it and I couldn't get into it. I might give it another chance though. I'm trying to get through Blake 7 right now, which I'm enjoying. So
Okay. I mean, I really don't want to rush you. I just feel like if you really just sit down for a good 2 or 3 episodes, you're really gonna like how the action picks up, or how the action flows, and how the plot goes. And it actually has a good overarching plot. It's not this. Excuse me. It's not like The Walking Dead, where it seemed like the plot just went all over the place. I think that's one of the main things that made that TV show fail. It was all over the place. There was no real goal in mind, and it seemed more like it seemed like an emotional soap opera more so than an actual action-packed post-apocalyptic sort of heroic tale. That's what originally made it so good.
Heartstring plucking slog through zombie infested
What was that?
world. A heartstring plucking slog through a zombie infested world.
Yeah, and that's what makes TV shows like that are meant to be action-packed. That's what makes them lose their ratings, because people are not here to be lectured about how bad one particular group is or the other group is, and they're not here to just get a sort of their heartstrings pulled. They want a good entertainment. They want an actual good story and a plot that's pointing towards a final end.
Has
Yeah,
anyone
absolutely.
been listening or watching the Andy Serkis Lord of the Rings Hobbiton thing on YouTube?
no, I
I saw the ad.
I posted a link for you, Gary, but I didn't know if you've seen it yet. It's he does a good job. He's pretty entertaining.
I've got it bookmarked. I'm probably gonna. That might be some of my like something I listen to before I go to bed. I just finished. The Hobbiton. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I've been listening to Preston Jacobs like pretty much nightly, getting into my Song of Ice and Fire lore. But now I think I need to switch back to Lord of the Rings. Freaking Song of Ice and Fire is grim. It's so grim. I forget how utterly grim that story is. I know he's trying to subvert the Tolkien trope, but it's like, could you have somebody win once? Just once? Because nobody wins. Every time like you get some justice, it's done in this like really horrific way. There's I thought about that last night. I've been reading the books for years. I'm like, there is no levity except for Tyrion joking. That's about it.
Speaking
Did
of
you actually write the line that Tyrion
Mark-
made famous? That I drink and know things.
Yes.
Did that come from the book?
No, that actually is a Dan and Dave line. And it's a Dan and they've skipped a lot of much better ones though. There's a whole.
That's what I hope.
There's a poem. It's not even it's a poem. It's a speech by a character, but it's a random character. And what George R. Martin does, the poems that are in Lord of the Rings, he just has a character read, like go on a big rant, and it ends up being like his poetry within it. And those are good. There's pretty good, couple of good anti-war ones. And there's also one about the broken man. The broken man one is the best one. If you ever want to read something that kind of breaks down what happens to people after, you could relate it to addiction. You could relate it to depression. You could relate it to PTSD. You could rate it. Yeah, just there's a lot of things to relate it to. It's brilliant and sad. Of course it's sad.
I
So
appreciate
last
that. The
week,
thing
I
is, I'm
actually
taking a
sat
sort of
through-
doomcock weight. Oh,
You know what it is?
No, go ahead, man.
Polly, it's your microphone volume. because you're like lower than
Oh,
all
okay.
of us. Yeah, that I mean, in the future, that's it. I know it's like for it, new.
It's-
It's no big deal, man. It's all good.
It's lower.
Yeah, it's a lot lower.
lower?
So people have a hard time
that?
hearing you.
Oh man, I'm like really funny too. What the hell?
I know you're totally funny. I got it. We're all missing it.
We need some of that up in here, man. You gotta
We
bring it.
do. We do.
I'm spitting out gems here, guys. Gems.
Hey, and speaking of good versus evil, I've got a throwback from 1979. Spider-Man, the Dragon's Challenge. This is like if
Yeah.
I'm going to put the link up, but a bit of bad self promotion. I'm actually in it.
What?
Yeah. I was because I lived in Hong Kong. I went to school there for about 3 years, and my folks were in sort of in entertainment. But anyway, I was an extra. I was an extra in this. So this was like it was a TV. I think it was only like a 1-season TV series of Spider-Man, and it was so Nicholas Hammond, the actor Nicholas Hammond played Peter Parker. I'll put the link up, but it's like corny. It's corny funny. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I actually right at the start of the actual film, because it was they had a series, then they had like a TV movie as a sort of lead up to as part of the series. So I'm right at the beginning. I'm the little kid, and the first shot as the camera zooms in at the airport check-in. We're like the only white family at the airport, and there's me with my brother and my mother, and right in camera, right in center.
No way.
Yeah, so that's my only claim to film. So I haven't set up my IMDb page yet, but
Oh, we lost somebody.
Well, you can. Who'd we lose?
I don't know.
We lost Polly. We lost the
Polly.
Latino
No.
man, right?
I put the link up there. You can have a look at the intro.
Where's
video.
the link?
I put it up in the StreamYard chat.
In the StreamYard chat?
Yeah.
There it is. Got it. Okay, we'll take a look at this. Will take us out because I do have to go, but we're going to watch this first. Hang on. We're looking at this. That is so cool. We should set up your IMDb. Somebody set one up for me. I think it was like Geeks and Gamers or somebody I'm like going on IB. Somebody's all, hey, you got an IMDb. I'm like, what?
Is that what they put
No.
up that you were some sort of white supremacists and all that? Is that
Yeah,
the one or
that's
something?
that's
Oh, man.
Reddit. That's Reddit.
Oh, okay.
I'm a white supremacist and a racist, by the way, Eric.
Oh, goodness.
Both.
There is an IMDb for Spider-Man: The Dragon's Challenge 1979, so
There
he's
is.
got to be listed. I mean, got to get his page on there, get him listed.
Dude, we have to do that. Okay, here we go. So you're in the beginning? Here we go.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Missing in action.
Wow, Columbia property.
Nice. Okay, we got it. It's Columbia Pictures. We understand.
Anticipation is killing me.
Yes, I love this.
Yes, I love it.
79
Best
Spider-Man.
theme song. That is Peter
Wrap
Parker
that
right
face.
there. Nicholas Hammond was the best Peter Parker. He looked like him. He looked like John Romita.
This was my introduction to Spider-Man.
Yep. Well, mine was Electric Company, but this too.
Look at
We
the
think we need to
clothes.
concern ourselves with with copyright.
Oh no, we're unlisted, so, and I'm on
Right.
Nerdrotic Live.
Oh, I don't want to take down any part of it.
Here I come.
Hong Kong.
That's me, the little kid.
Oh, no way.
That is
The
you.
little
That's nice.
kamikaze.
That's nice.
Away kamikaze. Look at him. I can't look at him anymore.
Look at life before the Chinese virus. Oh, I'm
Paulie, I
sorry. I'm not supposed to
Paulie's
say
waiting.
that anymore.
I'm not supposed to say that.
They're going to pass a bill calling that racist, by the way. You did hear that, right?
Paulie's actually waiting in the backstage, Uncle Gary.
Oh, he is? All right.
Yes.
We're Paulie. Hey, Paulie.
Paulie.
We got to go back and pause on little kamikaze. Where's
there, a little more.
little itty bitty kamikaze? Hang on. Oh my God, that was actually somebody climbing that building. It's so not safe.
Yeah, it was. It was actually. It was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here you come. Here you come.
We go. Yeah.
Oh, yes. We need to, look at that. There he is. There he is. Right there.
So
Look at him.
adorable.
Look at him.
What happened?
I was a little punk too because during the takes, right, I was hiding behind the pillars and I'd stick my head out and ruin the shot, and the director would go, "God, get that freaking kid out of here!"
Oh, that's crazy.
Older than my little sister.
All right. Well, that
You're
is
captured in film forever.
that is cool as hell.
You are on the Spider-Man TV show.
Shit.
That's it.
Hell
man.
yeah.
I'm in Spider-Man.
They never did come out with the DVDs for those. They were supposed to do it right around when Tobey's Spider-Man came out. I pre-ordered them on Amazon, and then there was some rights issue, and they never came out. So I got some bootlegs.
Yeah.
Too bad. I got the Hulk out though. I got the Hulk, but no Spider-Man. Do you ever see Doctor Strange? You guys ever see the Doctor Strange movie from the 70s?
No, I saw
No.
I saw a few pictures of it and what he looked like, and it
Yeah.
looked a bit humorous in my honest opinion. But I
It
understand
was.
it was the 70s.
Yeah, I got a bootleg of that too.
Well,
And
special
Cap- of
effects
course-
back then were a little lacking. So
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Hulk, and of course Captain America with Red Brown and his clear shield riding around on his motorcycle and
I remember
his Captain
that.
America helmet. Oh God, that was so cool. I thought it was great.
and
Oh.
remember the Red Skull from Captain America TV show
From the movie
or from the movie? Yeah.
with Pierre Salinger's kid in it. Yeah, and it was an Italian Red Skull. It said, "Hello, I'm a Red Skull. You want the pizza pie with your death?" You know.
Yeah. Well, I think Wonder Woman was it for me, man. Linda Carter.
Oh
Oh,
That was my coming of age.
yes, her and Yvonne Craig made a man out of me. I'm just saying. So we're gonna have to break this party up. Although this was fun. So next one we'll go a little later, but I do have to get to bed, guys. So thanks for
Okay.
coming in. Paulie, you slayed it tonight, buddy. You did. And Baptist, thank you, and Draco
Of
and
course.
Eric K and Comic Halsey. And yeah. Have a good night, guys. Thank you
Hey,
very
Uncle
much.
Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
have a good
Yeah.
night.
And everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. And I'll see you. Well, what's tomorrow? Friday Night Tights, or a few hours, we'll say. All right. Catch you later.
Bye-bye.
All right. You got my wrench.